Welcome to Cottage Moss Witchery, everyone. I'm introducing a new format here at Cottage Moss. Typically, I do a lot of written content, and then there's also different types of content on the website as well. Slides, paperwork. You know, I love paperwork, PDFs, and online words. I love words. Because I'm an avid reader, I understand and I really value the importance of that. However, I feel like getting to the heart of the matter and being able to channel and to really express, I want to, this being a introduction to one of the new formats here. And today we're going to be speaking about one of my favorite plants that's very near and dear to my heart, which is ghost pipe. Monotropa uniflora ghost pipe. Due to the nature of this plant, it will not just like most mushroom type plants, mycelium, it'll not be in existence and then one day just pop up. And then when its time frame has expired, it will literally just be reabsorbed back into the earth. But it turns into this puddle of dark blue, black, purplish mush. I find that fascinating. And it is directly associated with the underworld, the undercurrents, the unseen, which is probably one of the reasons why I really enjoy it, because most of my studies of my life studying the things I'm deeply attracted to and deeply connected to and deeply understand and feel that is part of my mission in this life has to do with those things, which is probably why I love it so much. It is definitely heavily associated with the planet Pluto, which has to do with the underworld and also the underground network of things, the deep inner currents. One really interesting point and fact about ghost pipe is that it does not use photosynthesis, which is another reason why it is connected to the underworld, because it pulls from organic decaying matter as nutrients from decaying matter, rather than pulling its energy in through the sun. It thrives in the darkest places of the forest. It represents resilience for us to find grounding and sustenance and to ask questions and to go into the dark, to find stillness, to find truth, and to find answers. And being a physical manifestation of the underworld reaching up, I think that that's just fascinating, because ghost pipe, like I said, is hauntingly beautiful. And if you are working with ghost pipe, something to keep in mind as its physical structure actually relates to its energetic structure and its frequency as well. If you actually get to hold a ghost pipe in your hand, you will know that it is so fragile. It is so fragile. It has a meaty, like, texture to it, but it is so thin and transparent. However, once you pick it, if you leave it out, it'll start to turn black. And ghost pipe is also used in medicine as a tincture. Now, again, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a doctor. And as with anything else, I'm always going to encourage you, first and foremost, not to take anyone's word for it, not even mine, but to always do your own research, no matter what. So if you are planning on making a tincture, if you are planning on using it, definitely do your research. I do have information on those types of things on the website, but again, I am not a doctor. And you will have to do your own research as far as dosage and how all that works. We're not going to talk about that, though, here today. However, it can be used as a medicine. So if you are making a tincture, it is going to turn this beautiful bluish, purplish, black color. It's gorgeous. But its frequency is very subtle, much like the physical characteristics of the plant itself. It is a bridge plant. It is a crossroads plant. And as we both know, physical pain itself is truly a physical manifestation of spiritual and emotional imbalances. And one of the things that I really wanted to share with you about Ghost Pipe is that this plant will take you on a journey, not like your regular spirit journey that you're probably familiar hearing about or have experienced. It is much more subtle. It is much more light, but in a heavy way. It's hard to explain in any sort of tangible way. But I guess I wanted to point out, if you are using it for medicine, to make sure that you are open so all of the messages can come through clearly for you. Because the energy and the messages and its wisdom and its magic are going to require you to become very still. They require us to become internally quiet, just as with receiving any sort of message. If there's a lot of internal chatter going on, you may not be able to hear what is actually trying to get through to you. But Ghost Pipe will actually take you on a journey to help you identify what is actually creating physical pain, because Ghost Pipe is taken as a tincture for nerve problems and for pain. And it's also an anti-spasmodic as well. But it will actually let you know where you're holding an imbalanced frequency and where that came from, what trauma that came from. So I feel like that's half the battle, right? Not knowing where it comes from, that's kind of like a puzzle piece that's been missing. So that's why Ghost Pipe is near and dear to me, because it's like the finder of the root of many issues. So what'll help you pinpoint internally in your emotions where you might be holding a frequency that was encoded into you by a specific experience. And because it is a key in unbinding, unraveling, this is beautiful plant to work with when you are doing past life work, ancestral work, and obviously this life work, unraveling programming. So it has a really beautiful way of dramatically loosening the veil. Loosening the veil so you may see the truth. And we all know that sometimes those type of things are, we're not going to say sometimes, we're going to say all the time. It's going to reveal the truth. And so just being open, because it's not going to tell you what you want to hear. It's going to show you what truly is, so it can be dealt with, so it can be handled. Really creating the environment and giving us the space to enter our own underworld. I know if you're not familiar with that type of work, that could be scary, but the more you edge yourself into it, the more beautiful it truly is. And you'll have less and less work to do the more that you do this kind of work. And you don't have to take it as a tincture. You don't have to ingest it. You can appreciate it. You can meditate with it. You can also sit by it in the forest. You could print off a picture of it and put it on your altar. Because with the law of non-locality, we know that we can access energy at any time, place, across all time and space. So you can just call on the spirit of Ghost Pipe as well. Or if you just would like to learn more about it too, that's okay as well. But there's different options here when working with any plant or any being for that matter, because really I value and I also teach that plants, stones, trees, plants, bones, you name it. It all has a spirit. It all has a spirit and is to be respected and to be honored and not to be taken advantage of, because even the law of reciprocity does lie in with our allies. These plants are our allies. So if you are drawn to ghost pipe, it might be a powerful ally for you to experience. My suggestion is to approach with caution, but only out of respect, because it is very powerful. Now let's get into the magical properties. Let's say you didn't want to ingest it and you just wanted to work. Let's say you did have some ghost pipe. I don't think it dries very well. It doesn't really. It really turns into like an ink-like. But there could be a ways around that. You might be able to do parts of it. I've never actually tried to dry it, so I wouldn't know. You could research that. But you can work with it in your magic. Let's talk about that next. Since it doesn't really interact with light to sustain itself, it's an underworld plant. This is a perfect ally with any sort of work that you're doing with, let's say, energetic protection and cloaking, those kind of coupled together. Not cloaking, I wouldn't suggest for suspicious reasons or, malicious reasons, but sometimes cloaking is a form of protection. Cord cutting and severing toxic and parasitic energies from your energy field, from your frequency. This is a great ally when you are having to do something that is a major entanglement. I say this with confidence because I have used it many times for not minor reasons. And you build this relationship with the plant, it will be such a good friend to you for cord cutting and removing parasites. Another purpose that this can be used for in your magical practice is creating ink. You can make a tincture if you like. We've discussed that already, but you can actually do it in a similar way with alcohol, not drinking alcohol, but like medical alcohol. You can soak it in alcohol, rubbing alcohol even. You can do your own research on how to formulate your own ink. So I have videos on that as well. But you can actually use this to create your own magical inks. Now, with ghost pipe and writing petitions, it doesn't completely disappear, but it will fade. So I love it. I love it, darling. It's beautiful when you use ghost pipe for creating inks and doing magical petitions with this ink. Now, taking in consideration of this energetic structure and properties, if you are going to do an ink work with this, I would suggest unbindings, uncrossings, unraveling things that are harmful, unraveling things that are toxic, letting go, separation between you and whatever fill in the blank negativity, right? It is a great liberator. So you can make ink out of this. I love doing this. I also have some for sale if you would like some bottles of ghost pipe ink. It is a beautiful ally with doing petitions and writing practices. Since it directly plugs into the unseen and the underworld, you're going to want to work with the spirit world, the spirit realm. Ancestors, guides, guardians, nature spirits, what have you. Ghost pipe is really good in spiritual practice with working with spirit. If you hold space for ghost pipe and connect to its waxy, translucent stillness, it's going to bring you a lot of peace. It's going to bring you a lot of wisdom, a lot of truth, some which may require some tissues, but I believe in you because the truth really does set you free. May you walk with the unseen paths with respect, honor the shadows, and respect its power and wisdom and be so thankful. You will be so thankful for having worked with Ghost Pipe.